Ayo. Quit capsating, serenading them hoes. There's no Juliet for no Romeo with no dove. She report the pimpin', now back to trickin'. She report the pimpin', nigga back to trickin'. Hey ho, get back to twerking.
What made you be a young cat from Queens, like not barely out of high school, pumping tapes like that?
I mean, I just had love for music, you know. I mean, growing up, my father, he used to throw a lot of house parties and stuff.
Right.
He used to DJ a little bit, and my uncle used to DJ, and my father used to sing. So a lot of people, you know what I mean, like don't know about that. But you know, that's where like the musical background came from. And when I was all through high school, man, we used to want to ride, you know, in the car to school, and we used to want to have some dope joints. So we would get like the mixtapes and stuff, and it would be one or two good joints in it. Cause we used to be in Queens, you know, we was into blends and stuff, you know what I mean? So it was like, you know, it was R&B acapellas and hip hop beats. So if you heard one or two joints you wanted to rock in the car, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
You know what I mean? You go buy the tape. But it would only be two joints. But I wanted a joint with like a whole tape all the way through with nothing but heat on it.
What was the structure for you to be like, I'm going to press these tapes, I'm going to get this money? Because at that time, you getting a different level of money. And the reason why I'm talking about it, you're a young man who has access to money and cars in New York City. That's the Giuliani era. So, like, how was it navigating around that time?
Man, when I was living in Queens at my mom's house, I had like 5 whips, man. So I was just like, you know, I was a young kid ODing, like, you know what I mean?
As you should.
So, you know, it was causing a lot of tension. I had to move out to Jersey, man, because it was getting a little bit. You know, when you come home and niggas is waiting for you with the hammers, that's when you know it's time to go.
Wow.
Not because you being scared, but because, you know, you bring your family around there and you don't want that. You know what I mean? You don't want that kind of tension.
How did you feel when drama got knocked and all of that?
I was like, yo, man. I was like, I mean, if you ain't already see someone else doing that, why try to reinvent the wheel? Like, you gotta stay under the radar. You know what I mean? That's like, you know what I mean? Like, you see it. That's like if you on the street, you see a cat selling drugs, and you gonna open a store and just have cocaine on the shelves. Like, you can't do it like that. You gotta stay. You know, it underground. You gotta keep underground. You know what I mean? But I mean, teach the own. Like, I'm sure it was a learning experience for him. You know what I mean? Like, just knowing how to maneuver out there. You know what I mean? Like, you can only do it to a certain extent without. Once you start getting too popping, it's like, you know, you start. You know, I seen that they ran there with assault rifles and they had the Bentley on the flatbed. So, you know, it was crazy.
What I said earlier in the conversation, you've been successful. You getting access to cars. So, you know, moving through the Giuliani era, like, because, you know how the city was back then. Seeing that, does it make you want to stay in the city more, or you just stay outside of the boroughs?
I mean, not for nothing. I mean, like,
yeah. I
don't really talk about it. I've been through a whole lot of different scenarios like that. You know, getting pulled over. You know, my car is legal, so I was getting pulled over. Like I think back then, I forget what the team was called that they had, but that's when niggas was tagging cars. So niggas would you know, take cars from the junkyard that was crashed, take the VIN number off, steal it and weld it back onto another car, and then register it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's what niggas was doing to get cars back then. So, and then they had it was so blown out that they had a task force for it. So I would get pulled over and they would like looking at my VIN and tugging on it like, yo, what are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm from, you know, that type. So I know when I get pulled over, you know, roll your windows all the way down. Put your hands on the windshield, on the dashboard, and just chill. Like, you know what I mean?
Lights,
I've been in the city on Broadway. They ran down on me one time, in my truck, which was legit. They ran down on me. They went up Broadway the wrong way. You know what I mean? They rammed their car into my door so I couldn't open it, and they had guns drawn on me. You know what I mean? They had guns out on me. Tell me like, yo, the car is stolen, this, that, and the third. I'm like, yo, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What you mean stolen? My car's paid for. Like,
there you go.
What do you mean, like, my car's stolen? Nah, this car is stolen from Texas. Yo, bro, I don't even have Texas plates on this car. What are you talking about?
Yo,
you know what I mean? So I mean, I've been there a couple times. You know what I mean? Where like, you know, you get pulled over and stuff. But I mean, you know, it is what it is, man. You know, it's the world we live in.
Because, you know, like, dudes in this industry, you know, they have their family. You've always spoken about your family lightly, and it's just scary to know, like, you might not make it home over you being successful, and it's not even a hood nigga, it's the police.
Yeah. I mean, I got pulled over in front of greenhouse going to a party, and it's like a task force of cops I see all the time. They put me in front of greenhouse tomorrow, yo. Like, it's like they did their research. They like, yo, your license is suspended. I was like, no, it's not. My license ain't suspended. You know what I mean? It just so happens that someone I used to be with they knew my information, my date of birth, and my name. So they was riding a motorcycle. They got pulled over and they got tickets and they never paid it. So you know what I mean? So like now I got locked up. You know what I mean? And I had a bunch of allergy tablets for my allergies. Yeah. And I used to wrap them in foil because all the little dust particles would get all over my pants. You know what I mean? Because it was in a pocket in a little case. So in any kind of, not drug, but any kind of like medicine drug that's out of the actual wrapping is considered a controlled substance. So now they go to the press. They go to the press with that, and it's all over CNN and all. You know what I mean? Like that's how they gas it up.
One thing I remembered you doing, well, not doing, but like being around. I feel like you were responsible for LeBron James becoming famous.
Me?
Yeah. Because there was somebody you were I used to see you and Lenny Cook all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
And then when he put LeBron in the blender, and I'm just like, oh, that's Cluesman's. Oh, that's next up in the city. And then after that, like, what's your relationship like with Lenny Cook? Because he was supposed to be
I was just playing ball with Lenny on 2 days ago.
Yeah, everything good.
He cool, we chilling. He's a chef now.
Yeah, seriously. Yo, but like, cause y'all ever talk about it like, yo, you put LeBron in the blender, but everyone says that in that game, because he put that move on LeBron, everybody's like, who that little 15-year-old kid that just dropped 25?
Yo, bro, but I mean, Lenny Cook is I've been around a lot of talented basketball players, man. He's one of the most talented basketball players who never made it.
Yeah.
That's facts. Like, you know what I mean? Talk about have a full game with a full arsenal. 3-point shot, handle, court vision, dunks, passing, dunking. Yeah. The kid had everything.
Yeah, I remember.
The kid was loaded. He just kind of I think he got caught hung around some of the wrong people who wanted to go out and party. Like he was busy. He was trying to mix being young and semi-successly with with basketball and he just couldn't find balance at the right time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I was like, yo, he's next up in the city.
This goes back to what I'm saying. Like, growing up under a microscope and getting famous is not for everybody.
Facts, man.
You know what I mean?
And when Carmelo was deciding on doing his deal in New York, did you ever tell him, like, yo, man, I think you should go with, like, another team? Like, because I know, it's because of you. You brought Carmelo and Lala together, so I know there's a lot of influence. You ever be like, yo, man.
But he was in Denver, though.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, no disrespect, but I mean, if I was a basketball player, I would either want to play in New York or L.A.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, that's just like.
You say he was in Denver.
I mean, if we talking about making money on endorsements and all that stuff, man, you want to talk about being in New York or L.A. Yeah. Like that's where it's at.
No, facts.
And he I mean, for nothing, he's a New Yorker, so I mean, he was born in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You think he gets treated
Maryland,
unfair?
you know what I mean? Huh?
You think he gets treated unfair by like fans out here? Because they like blame him for like stupid shit.
I mean, they'll blame anybody. They're like, if they could blame him for world hunger, they would do that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, but New York is just like that's not New York is not for everybody. You know what I mean? You really have to have some tough skin to be from here and be able to take criticism. Yeah. And you know what I mean?
I like listen to like people on sports talk radio like, oh yeah, he dropped 25, but he's not a leader. And I'm like, yo, this is the exact reason Patrick Ewing don't do nothing. Like he don't come back to New York or nothing.
Right. I see Pat all the time. I see Pat at the barbershop in Jersey sometimes, man.
I thought he had a baldy. Fuck, Patrick. You talking about Patrick Ewing?
Nah, he ain't got no baldy. Dude, he might now. I don't know. I had a baldy for 10 years, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it makes sense. For years, you had people thinking that Joe Buttons was Rasheed Wallace.
Oh, wow.
Remember that? Like how did that happen? Where people thought an NBA player was pretending to be a rapper?
Shit. That's funny.
Yeah, for real.
That's funny, man. Yeah.
Like, did Joe ever like beef about that? Like, yo, Clue, the fuck, man.
I don't know where people got that from. I mean,
I used to hear that a lot, man.
It's funny. It's funny. That's a cool joke.
No, like for real, I used to hear that. I'm like, why niggas think
People were serious?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Niggas really thought Rashid
he actually used to. I think Rashid. He actually. They flew me out there to Portland one time when he's playing for the Blazers. I think, and like they had a show out there, whatever, a radio show out there. But
I remember
there's like nothing to do out there. There's nothing to do
in Portland.
Back then, I mean, I don't know about now, but when I was going out there before, there was nothing to do.
No strip clubs, no regular.
Bro, there was like one little club out there that we went to. I think it was like Sheed and Jermaine O'Neal. We used to go out there.
The Jailblazers.
Yeah.
The Jailblazers. I remember.
Yeah.
Brian Graham,
Eric Barkley.
Eric Barkley.
Yeah, Eric Barkley was out there.
Omar
There you go.
Omar.
Yeah.
Zebo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Zach Randolph.
Jailblazers. Pippen was on that team too, right?
Sabonis.
I think at one point he might have been.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's and
I flew out there. I was buying my first Ferrari. I was buying a Ferrari California. A California Blue Ferrari. That's what the color was called.
All right.
What was it called? Was it called California Blue? Oh, it's called Tour de France Blue. It was a 360 Medina. So I was buying it. So they had that color. I had to fly all the way to Portland to go check the car before I buy it. So I flew out there, went to see the car, gave him the check, and then I went to a Blazers game before I went to the airport. I felt like I was the only, other than the players on the court, I was the only black person in the crowd.
Wow.
And it was like I felt like weirded out. Like I felt like a needle in the haystack.
Now you see Khaled at games, DJ drama and stuff like that. It's just, how did it make you feel when you had your back and forth with Slay and Flex, like us all being from the city and everything? You figured, it's enough for us to do out here. Everybody has their own lane. Like, did that ever like piss you off? Like, why are we getting into it?
I never really started no beef with nobody, or never even said nothing slick about nobody, nothing like that. I mean, like, but at the end of the day, like, I guess, if you're making noise, you're gonna get noticed.
Yeah.
So you're gonna become a target at some point. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't become a target, then then you probably not making no noise.
So you felt like Slay took the shot at you first?
Not for nothing.
Did, everyone did basically.
And same thing with Flex. I'm seeing it. I'm like, it's the same thing, the same.
But what?
we all cool now though, so it's cool.
Yeah, that's dope. Even though like
I just seen Slay in LA. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was Slay. He be having all the broads on the rooftop shaking their ass.
In the Bronx.
Yeah. In the Bronx.
Project rooftop.
Yo, respect to that nigga, man.
Yeah, got to.
P.I.M.P. who the shot to them? I'm the girl, let him sugar, watch him follow him. Had the homies come through for 100, that be the block. Take your shit, we going up on the Instagram. Higher than a ceiling fan. I'm whipping bricks in the kitchen and flying shit out the window like I was Peter Pan. I handle my own shit, I own shit, alone shit. Middle finger to the middleman. Anybody that can get it when they want it. Finger fuck your bitch and she gon' tell me when she coming.